The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer of sports talk and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlinsky as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversation going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering room. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Tonight's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420SEAT at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts as well to catch you up on all the things going on in the world of sports. As the football season's done and we get into baseball season, we're right around the corner, pitch and catch the report, I think, tomorrow. So it's a lot going on. But we're back once again. Deanne, the voice of reason, is joining us again on the podcast Monday night. We decided we're not going to do this weekly, but we now have our schedule down pat. Now we're into February. I think every couple of weeks we'll start to talk, because we talk a lot, and it's not made for television. But Deanne, welcome back to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you? Thank you for having me again.
No, it's I'm very well. Super Bowl happened last night. We'll get to the halftime show in half a second here, but we were watching Overdrive just before we had dinner tonight, and Jamie Newells-McLennan was talking about the shirts and the things that the losing team that don't go out to the public. And I got thinking a little bit, and that's why we didn't talk a whole bunch about it before. But what would be let's just say, for the sake of conversation here, let's say if you were at Winners and you were looking for a gift for either me or your brother or whoever it might be, and on the rack there was a Super Bowl champion New England Patriots t-shirt, hat, sweatshirt, whatever it might be, or a Toronto Blue Jays American League champion shirt, hoodie, blah, 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 whatever it be. Which one would be the worst gift? Because
I don't get the question.
Well, because like there were t-shirts produced for the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, and they have a mass production, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and they get incinerated or sent away or
whatever, sent to Ethiopia or whatever it might be, as the old wives' tale says. Or is there a American League champion Toronto Blue Jays shirt on that same rack? Which one's the worst gift to get?
Well, the one that the team didn't actually win.
But are you king of a third world country if you give away a second place T-shirt?
Well, you're the best in your conference, in your league. I still think that that's an accomplishment.
But you didn't win.
Well, you won up until the last game. You still get like a trophy. It's still an accomplishment. You're still considered champions of something.
So king of a third world country.
I don't think it's that bad.
I thought this would go a little bit further with this type of question, but apparently it didn't.
If I came across one of those non-winning team T-shirts, like the ones that are a rarity for every championship that exists, if it was a team that I liked, I would probably buy it just because it's rare, and it's not true. Like it's a fallacy, and it'd be a really funny thing to own, but I would have no desire to wear anything with the Patriots on it, no matter what they win. So.
Well, let's do it the other way around. If the Seahawks were to have lost yesterday, and then there was a shirt, like if Natalie's a Seahawks fan, you're
okay. So Melanie, let me adjust.
So is that something that she would want?
I don't. Yeah, I think so. Like, for instance, to maybe change your example, what the Jays did not win the World Series this year, but they would have had T-shirts for those.
Well, but no. What I'm getting at is they had the guarantee there was American League champion T-shirts or hoodies or whatever it might be, but then you don't win something. Are you kind of just like a little brother syndrome a little bit? Like we came club. Is it like, oh, way to go, Canada? We tried hard and we didn't get this.
That. I don't think it's because you still won something. Like you still accomplished a heck of a lot. I disagree with you on this.
If you would,
I think you should be proud of whatever you have done. And if your team gets almost to the like whole thing, that's pretty great. It's not like you won all the games in September or something. Like it's a real achievement.
But okay, so if you were just we made the playoffs t-shirts.
Well, that doesn't. Well, those exist. Like the
Oh, I know they're
in
annoying. I
October
think they're
or
annoying.
playoffs 2020. Like those exist. People do buy those.
I don't think you should have a t-shirt there shouldn't be any kind of memorabilia at all until you win the whole thing.
Well, I mean, like you said about just getting to the playoffs, because all the major league teams, as soon as the wild card round starts, as soon as the postseason starts, they're all wearing those October t-shirts, whatever line or whatever marketing they have each year. And I feel like playing 1 or 2 games just because of like you barely got into a wild card game, I wouldn't think that that's worthy of a t-shirt. Or any sort of memorabilia.
If you ever decided if there was in winners or whatever, and there was sitting there, if you ever bought me a New York Yankees American League wild card game winner or series winner shirt, it would not get worn.
Noted. I think we have to agree to disagree here.
Yeah, but I think if you had the shirt that only gets because they make what we talked about.
It would be neat, like it would be a rarity, but I wouldn't get it for a team that I'm not interested in, even if it is rare.
Would make sense? The conversation that you could have with a team, like if you got
that is true. Like it would be, it's a conversation piece. Like where the heck did you get that from?
Well, you can get t-shirts made, but if you this is an original.
Yeah, that's true. You just now
incinerated before it got sent to some third world country or to Arkansas. This is where these shirts ended up. I shouldn't have been so hard on Arkansas, but I guess you could. There's a story behind that a little bit more, but I don't know if you'd. It'd be a tough sell for me.
Fair enough. Fair. I think we're just seeing. I don't know. I think you should still be proud of yourself if you got almost to the whole enchilada.
I don't know if I would agree with you on that at all. I think that's if you still lost, you lost.
Now I know not to get you a Yankees 2024 World Series champion or American League East championship t-shirt.
Well, they won their whole American League as well. They went to the World Series and lost.
Yeah, but they didn't win the whole thing. So
I wouldn't want one.
That's what I'm saying.
Want that
now
shirt.
I know not to get you one of those.
I'd be like, all right on. We were the first losers. Like, I don't know. Like you can be a little bit proud and you can be a little bit.
If you want a silver medal, wouldn't you be happy with yourself?
See, that's it. That now I was going to get to the Olympics in a second, but I was getting into it right now. But on Saturday morning when we were watching the Olympics, sitting here, and the girl from Italy, she in her home country and won the Olympic gold medal, set a new record, and the Canadian girl finished in third. I don't know their names. I'm not gonna pretend to
bronze. She won bronze though.
She won bronze. She ended up getting a bronze medal. I think with the Olympics, to a certain degree, if you're in individual sports and you win a medal, if it's a timed event and you get your own personal best, I think you can have some pride in that. But when you're in a team event and you get and you win, you lose the gold to get a silver, or I think that's once again a king of a third world country thing, because you still lost. If someone just beat you flat out in a timed event, I think you can still be proud of that because someone was just better than you on that day. When it comes to individual events, that's just my thing. I don't know.
Okay. And we've had this conversation before that like winning bronze, you win
had a
bronze,
lot of conversations before, but yeah.
You win the bronze medal in a team event, you lose to get the silver. So there's a completely different feel to it, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Like that.
I can sort of agree with that. But again, like to do the t-shirt thing, like I still think you've accomplished a lot. I mean, even if it's a team event and you get the silver medal, you're the second best in the world.
But I think it would hurt a lot more. Like I know. Like when the other team is celebrating across the ice or across the field or whatever, when it's a team event and they got the entire team got the best.
Of course that's true.
I think that's a bit of a kick in the pills a little bit when you're like, oh geez, we were so close. But if you just get beat because one person, well, geez, if one person was better than you that day, that kind of sucks too. Because I was this close, but I wasn't. because somebody had to have, like, I actually remember the woman's last name from Italy who won the gold medal that in speed skating, Lola Brigida. That's why I remember her last name. But it was a personal best, an Olympic record, on and on it goes. You could kind of, as an athlete, you can accept that a little bit more because this person did something they've never done before, that no one's done before. I've never done it before. Hey, hats off. See you later.
To expound on that, today, I guess there was a Dutch speed skater that set a world record, and then like 10 minutes later, it got beat by another Dutch woman.
Are you upset with that? If a teammate beats your record, are you upset with that? There's a little bit of jealousy inside the locker room afterwards, going, "Fuck's sakes."
I feel like probably, yeah, because you just gave it all out there, and you were like, you were the king of the world for 10 minutes, and then someone went, nope.
And no one will ever know. Like nobody will ever know that she had the world record or whatever it would be. Her parents.
Well, I hope the whole story is spoken to, or the whole story is told every time it's told, to get the perspective, like to get the not the perspective, to get the context of what had happened.
It's kind of like the day Farrah Fawcett died.
Yeah, it's not really fair to her.
Same day Michael Jackson died.
She didn't get nearly enough.
Didn't get her due. Just due, I guess. Right? It's the same kind of deal. So yeah, I don't know. Like the Olympics are so much different in when it comes to team sports, because there's so many people who personal bests and on it goes, and they know going in that they aren't going to win, but they're at a certain thing, and they're in their event, and they get seventh. And they're like, oh, that's better than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, and that's an accomplishment because you're seventh in the world.
But should the rest of the sports world kind of maybe follow that and have some intellectual honesty, that maybe watch Olympic athletes a little bit and say, watch these teams, watch these individuals. What they knew they weren't going to win, but they went and they
well, yeah, and that's half the joy of the Olympics. It's those stories. It's the hard work that people have put in. It's the background. It's the story as much as it is the event a lot of the time.
Like I was trying to get this intellectual honesty. It was a bit of a segue, but you didn't bite like I hoped you would. But
I laughed at it, but I didn't take. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like you look at the Toronto Maple Leafs right before the Olympic break. They ended up winning 3 in a row. They beat Vancouver, they beat Calgary, and then they beat Edmonton. And all of a sudden, everybody thinks they got a chance. If they would have lost those 3 games, they would have been selling. Leafs Nation would have been like, yeah, let's blow it up. And now maybe your dad and your brother, who will probably listen to this a little bit later on or watch this a little bit later on, they might be thinking that the Leafs have a little bit of a shot at maybe doing something in the playoffs. And I think and I think I know, and maybe your brother and your family know that the Leafs probably aren't going to win. But should pro sports teams take a look at the Olympics a little bit and have some intellectual honesty on how things actually work? That we're just not good enough. We're not doing this, and maybe it's just not our year or our decade or whatever it might be. And look at Olympic athletes and go, oh, they're just, yeah, we're a year away, or we're Olympics away, or whatever it might be.
I don't know if that's necessarily a fair comparison, though, because you're building dream teams out of whoever the heck you want for each country. And like an NHL team doesn't have that luxury to just pick and choose and decide who they get whenever they, and like just.
No, I'm talking about individuals. Like when an individual goes into the Olympics.
Sorry.
Like when the Jamaican freaking bobsled team went in '88 in the Olympics, they knew they weren't going to win, but they just wanted to have a personal best and just get a little bit better and have people.
Yeah, maybe some of that mentality could pass over to the NHL, and maybe because they get paid for it, the dollars talk more than the pride of your accomplishments or any of that sort of like intellectual honesty, like you said. I think that as soon as there's a paycheck on the table, that kind of changes what you're playing for. I mean, I'm not saying that it's everybody's like that, but I would imagine there is a good swath of professional hockey players that whatever, I'm getting paid and I'm getting paid well. So I don't really care.
I
And if you can take that mentality from the Olympics and bring it in, that goes to what I always talk about, playing like a team and playing like you want to and you mean it with meaning, and a like-minded goal that is bigger than the sum of its parts. But yeah, I think that does, maybe that's why I'm such a proponent and such a fan of the Olympics, is because I feel like that's the full embodiment of that.
Like you look at I mean, the Olympics don't get the press coverage all year long. It's a 2 week thing. We're all experts of what's going on. We're all curling experts. We're all speed skating and whatever experts might be. And you're laughing. Yes, you were talking about like the Summer Olympics when the splash is too big, when in the diving, like whatever. I don't know. Like,
yeah, suddenly we're all experts for 2 weeks on like the most obscure events.
But we all kind of have an idea a little bit, especially in Canada, about the game of hockey, and we all hope that our team wins. We had talked about the Canadian team and the Olympics in a second here, but getting back to intellectual honesty, the New York Rangers before the break, they kind of Chris Drury sent out a letter. They did it a few years ago too. They sent a letter telling their fans basically, yeah, we don't got it this year. We're going to sell. We're going to this. Would you like it if Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment put that out there and said, yeah, this isn't our year. We have to figure this. It's just not going to work out this year. We got to rebuild. Do you think that's a complete cop out and looking for a?
I don't think it's a cop out. I think it's crocodile tears. I think it's an excuse. I think it's crocodile tears. I would be even more offended if they did that. We know, and don't, like, it's just lip service at this point. Like, whatever you're going to say, I need actions, not words. Like, well, I can't speak for Rangers fans and how they feel because I don't follow enough to know, like, I mean, the last time I know that they won is 94. I don't think that they've won since then, correct?
No.
Right. So, yeah, like I would imagine that they're just as fed up as Leafs fans, maybe not, because we're going on 60 years just about now. So yeah, I'd be ticked if MLSE did something like that. We know.
But if there's an actual plan, but if
don't drop an
actual plan,
they've had an actual plan, like every
they laid it out, and
instead
of finishing 7th, finishing 8th, making the playoffs, losing around, whatever. If there was an actual plan that was laid out, and actually saying we need to actually bottom out here, we need to get rid of some guys, we need to get rid of payroll, we need, like, if there was an actual plan, would you accept that? Like,
I'm not really sure, because I think there has been a plan. Like every 3 or 4 years, they have a new plan. What's that do? What's it done?
Not a whole bunch.
No, the Shanna plan. I remember getting on board with the Shanna plan.
I spoke on.
I mean, sometimes it depends on who it's coming from. That, like, you can maybe take that and run with it. But in other scenarios like this, like I said, I can't speak for the Rangers, but if the Leafs did it, put your money where your mouth is.
I'd rather my team tell me that, yeah, we don't have a shot, and go out and maybe make a deal, and here's why we're trading guys, here's what we're doing, and here's then
well,
the false.
I wouldn't mind an explanation.
There's got to be a little bit of a, you would think that there's got to be some, once again, intellectual honesty amongst Leafs fans and amongst probably 25 teams in the National Hockey League that know they're not winning this year. There's got to be, like, and if you think going in after the break that every team has a chance of winning this thing, there's not. Like, there's just not. And I don't think it would be the worst thing if my team or your team came out and said, here's what we're doing. We don't have a freaking chance. Like, we don't. We're going to get rid of this guy and this guy and this guy, because you're not only thinking about this year.
But in some, no, I'm going to interrupt you, because I think in some ways,
a shock.
Because if no matter what they say, it's all just placating, and you're never going to please all of the people all the time anyway. So they say, okay, we're going to trade Matthews, or we're going to trade Nylander, or we're going to do this, or we're going to bottom out. You're just going to have blowback from every corner anyway, no matter which thing you choose to do. So I want action. I don't want words.
I think that the problem that the Leafs, I hate to have this Leaf centric, but I think that, like, in a lot of teams, they they got to have some honesty with themselves and say, we're not going to win next year either. Like, we're not anywhere near as good as the Colorados. We're not anywhere near as good as the McDavid. Edmonton's got some problems of their own.
Florida, Edmonton.
Florida's got some, but we're not anywhere near as good as this team. And next year we're not going to be either. And we have to find a way to get there, because if you want us, if you know, because ticket prices are going to go up because inflation and salaries and on it goes. Like, there's got to be, like, eventually, I wouldn't mind if my team said, you know what, we're just not good enough. Like, we're just not, and we made some mistakes in the past, and these guys that we have aren't good enough, and we have to do something.
I've always made the analogy that, like, being a fan of a team who's just consistently blows it, it's like being in a bad relationship where they're like, oh baby, I'll never do it again. Okay, I did this and I can acknowledge this, and you do that, but and then, like, nothing changes though. You don't do anything any different. So, like, you can talk until you're blue in the face. I want you, like, and I'm still talking about hockey here. Like, you can talk until you're blue in the face, but unless you change something, I don't believe you anymore. Like, actually do it. What like, yeah, these 60 years enough? Like, what?
Is hope enough? Is hope enough for a sports fan?
No, for a fan to keep being a fan, sure. I'll always have hope.
But false hope.
It's not for hope. What do we have?
But false hope, right? Like, is there just false hope?
It could happen.
What did George Bush fool me twice? Shame on me. Fool me 9 times. Say whatever George Bush said that day when little situation there. Like, eventually you got to go. Like, being 7th, being 8th, and getting your teeth kicked in the first round of the playoffs, that gets old, right?
Yeah. And how many rosters have they been through and done this? Like, where's the plan? Different coaches, different teammates, different pair. Like, enough talking. Do
if the
do not
Leafs
say do.
If the Leafs franchise, as they're constructed today, and they've been in the playoffs 9 or 10 years in a row, and whatever it's been, if they were in Columbus or in Minnesota or in Nashville, win around here, win around there, you know, but not do anything, but sold out every night. If the Leafs franchise was in one of those cities, in Anaheim, even Anaheim has a cup, but they would probably consider themselves a success.
Every team wants to win,
right? But what's a success? Full building, make the playoffs every year, shirts, blah blah blah, are getting sold.
The thing is, though, is that it depends on the city, because it depends on the fan base. Some fan bases go back 20 years. Some fan bases go back 100 years. Like, it changes the expectation. Like, if it's in a city where people just, like, it's a fun thing to do and we all go and it's accessible and it's a decent price, like a smaller NHL market, sure. But when you have these marquee teams that, like, have payrolls up the wazoo and are historical teams, you have expectations. Like, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And if you get to be one of these marquee premium teams, you have to deliver eventually, or else you get knocked off the throne.
Yeah, so that's what, like, so when does the team finally bottom out and give their fans a little bit of hope to say it's not our year this year or next? And and
I've said this to you before too. It's like the Leafs are some sort of toxic workplace that no matter what the staff is that comes and goes, or who the management is, there's like something in the water in the company as a whole, that management's changed, ownership's changed, players have changed, and nothing. Like, it's always just disappointing. So something's got to be up.
What is it?
I don't know.
Like, what is it? Like, that's
probably
the billion-dollar question.
I think they rest on the fact that they sell out every night. They're a marquee team. They're going to have historical fans that are going to buy the memorabilia and take the trips out there to get tickets, and will always fly the flag and have that little glimmer of hope when they, everyone becomes a mathematician in April. And that's, like, I'm going to keep doing it. And I know that. I'm not an idiot, but I'm aware that I'm doing it. But
they would sell more, and
you can't sell out more. Like
Well,
once
no,
it's sold out,
they
you're
would
sold
sell.
out.
They would just everything. They could raise your prices. They could sell more shirts and hats and whatever it might be if they won. But
But I honestly feel
they've
like
had
because
teams that have been very good.
you think of
And we
sponsorships and television deals and like all of that stuff, selling an extra few 100,000 t-shirts is useless. Like they don't care.
is that what it is?
I think so. It's like when you think of like evil corporations that uh like that CEOs and board members make billions of dollars in bonuses and the staff gets paid $12. I'm not saying like that's what the players are getting paid, but it's like the fans are these small workers that will grind and keep working and are loyal to the thing. Meanwhile, they're not making the workplace better. They're not fixing anything because they can get away with these people paying them as like they don't have to improve.
So then why do we care?
Because I'm nostalgic and sentimental. Like that's it. That's literally the only thing that keeps me hanging on. And the teensy tiny hope that one day I will see my Toronto Maple Leafs lift the Stanley Cup, and not for even the players on the team that exist in that iteration in 2075. I don't know what year I'll be. I hope I'm alive for it, but for the fans that have spent their entire lives generationally cheering for something. Sports has brought people together. Like we can go hold down that rabbit hole about what fandom can do for people and how meaningful it can be.
Is that
that glimmer of hope is what keeps me hanging on. I'm never going to switch teams ever.
Oh, I'm not asking that. Like I'm just. Like,
but I know, but I'm saying no matter how bad they suck and how continuously they blow it, I'm never going to not be a Leafs fan.
Is that something that you kind of have when you watch the Olympics? You might latch on to a person. We talked about a few weeks back when we did this the Voice of Reason show here. Is that one thing that you latch onto an athlete, or you see something in the preliminaries and they got a chance of winning? Like, oh, hey, this is kind of neat, and something you don't know anything about. And
it's the same. It's the same.
You latch
thing.
onto it and you go, "This is great."
I think it's the same exact formula. I think it's the same bones that gives that feeling. People love a good story. People like joy, no matter how curmudgeon and cynical we all are. People want happy turnouts. Like the secondhand pride and joy I had to see the Chicago Cubs win the World Series, it's like immeasurable. And I was never a Cubs fan. I'm not a Cubs fan, but I have respect for that, for the history, and for the fans that have been fans for generation upon generation. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And they hung on until it happened. And it might not happen again for another 100 years. Who knows? But that's how I feel as a Leafs fan.
The Olympic men's team started practice. They played the first game on Saturday or Thursday afternoon. Sorry. Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Check your local listings. It's interesting. Like it's going to be fun and it's going to be great. But now that we went through that Four Nations face-off last year that neither of us gave two hoots about until it started going. I don't know if this is going to get the same juice just because the time of day these games are on and when they're on that the Four Nations did, or obviously the Olympics in Vancouver. And this one might mean a little bit more because of all the political discourse. We won't get into that unless you want to. I talked about on Saturday on the show, but this Olympics, I'm scared to death of it. It's I'm for the men's hockey team. I'm invested. I think that they're going to win, but I'm scared to death that they aren't. But I don't think nationwide it's going to get the same juice just because of the time of day the games are played. It's not going to get the same enthusiasm, I guess. Does that make sense?
You're right. I do think you're right, but I also remember other years when like they've changed the Alberta laws and bars are opening at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning for this kind of thing. I was saying this to you the other day about how, as much as I would prefer to watch a game during prime time when things are in North America, one of the kitschy things that I actually really love about the Olympics is that there are live events at all hours of the day and night. So I kind of enjoy the fact that, hey, at 6 o'clock in the morning, there's an event, or at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a live event, whatever it is at that time, whether it's summer or winter or whatever. But I think when they're obscure times, I think it actually brings people together more because everyone has like puts more of an effort in. Okay, like on Thursday morning, I considered going, well, do I work from home? Or no, my boss has a TV in his office, so maybe I can just work in his office that day and we can all gather around the TV and watch it. Because I'm going to go off on a tangent about our cable provider.
That's Shaw Cable, kids. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I don't usually bitch about Shaw out of the big 2 or 3 that the entire country of Canada can choose from. But there's an app. You pay a premium to have like accessibility to your cable on your telephone or your iPad or your computer or wherever you may be. And at my office, at my job, I have 2 screens. So I can work on one screen and extend on the other, whatever. But a lot of the time, I might just have news on in the background, or I might have music on in the background on the television. So I log into my Shaw cable and I can play whatever I want. And they've blocked it out. I cannot watch my Shaw television that we pay for on the computer because I have to be on my home Wi-Fi because licensing and like you can't broadcast to the public and no dissemination of this broadcast can be in express written permission by blah 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 blah. I know I can't screen mirror. I can't what's it called? Not stream. I can't stream my phone to a television. It blocks you from doing that. I understand because they don't want you showing a crowd and charging people for it. But to just be able to play it on my telephone, what if I pay for Shaw, but I don't have television? And that's how I watch. I was so livid because I wanted to put the live event on while I was at work and watch it for the service that I pay for.
Yeah, I heard today that, and I don't know if it's in Canada as well, but I heard today that the MLB app, which is $150 a year, and it's the best bargain in sports. You have to pay $30 a month. I think it is. This might be just an American thing to have ESPN Plus, whatever it is.
We go through this with Rogers about Jays.
So all of a sudden that $150 a month turns into $330 for the year and or $150 total.
Well, you can't see the Jays games on the MLB app if you're in Canada. Or what's the thing that happens?
Yeah, it's because you can't
because it's on Rogers on television. If I pay for MLB and I don't pay for cable, I should still be able to get all the games.
I don't understand. Like, I know it's a business, and Jim Fan of the band, he says this all the time on his show. Like, sports is a business. I get it, but wouldn't it make more sense to have a business that more people could watch and become? Yeah. Because if you're shutting out people to not be able to watch it, then they're not going to become fans.
Or TSN and Sportsnet playing the same game blacked out on
Jesus. Tonight when I got
Sportsnet
home,
West, Sportsnet Pacific, Sportsnet Ontario, all of them were playing the same game and they're blacked out.
When I got home after work today, there was the five Sportsnet, so Sportsnet West, East, Pacific, blah blah blah, and then CTV, and then CBC, and then Sportsnet.
NBC.
TSN were all playing the exact same Olympic coverage. Well, I can't pick and choose what I want on my cable because they're already there. So if I'm going to watch the same thing anyways, what are we doing?
And there isn't only one event happening.
I'm going to make the assumption there isn't 4 video cameras in Italy that Sportsnet took over there. I'm just going to make the assumption that they have other things they could be putting on. Make me a fan of things. Make me want to watch it, and and then actually give your sponsors more of a platform
exposure.
To have more exposure. Because if it's the same thing on every channel, well, it's just on the one channel. So why am I doing it?
It's just redundant. What's the point?
It doesn't.
Oh. Or like when the Amazon or the Apple TV games and that kind of thing. So if you have an Amazon subscription or you have a Disney subscription or any of those things, you're already paying monthly, and then you log in and they take it away from your cable that you are also paying for, but you have to pay a premium on a platform you already pay for. Like, and then they expect they're going to get new fans. They think that that's a good idea. All you're doing is alienating the people who want to watch.
There's so many forms of entertainment out there now, and there's so many different things for people to watch. And then when you you take them away from people, they're not going to come back. They're just not.
And meanwhile, it's 2026. Like a person can find like an illegal stream really easily.
Well, maybe that's why they do it, because there's guys like James Michalopoulos who has every trick in the book out there to find something, right? So, and it's true. Like he has different ways to find Leaf games, and all the glory to him to do it, to not pay the crazy amount of money to watch a game from the comfort of your own home. Like what these leagues and teams? It's a business, I get it, but they to make it harder for people to watch things doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Good talk.
I agree.
Last night, the Super Bowl, time as we're doing this here, Super Bowl was on. The game was a complete dud, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And I don't know if I've ever listened to your response to this, but the NFL proved once again that the NFL is popular because it's popular. The game was a dud. The game could have been very easily been a Sunday afternoon.
There was a lot of things overshadowing yesterday's game.
There was, but the game was there was another NFL game that was could have been played between two teams in October early in the season. It wasn't.
The Bears semifinal game was more exciting than last night's game.
Yeah, and I think the NFL has that a lot. But I've also said this in the past, that the NFL is popular because it's popular and people watch because they're supposed to, not because they want to. It's just because it's on and because of all the betting and after watching that horrible display of sports yesterday, in comparison to what we saw in the World Series and what we've seen in the Stanley Cup Finals the last couple of years with the Oilers, am I getting a little bit more juice with my statement about that the NFL is popular because it's popular?
Oh, yeah, I've always thought you were right about that. But, like everything but the football game was talked about leading up to the day and the day of. And I honestly think that if you ask 50% of the people who watched last night's game a month from now who won, they won't remember.
Won't know the score. I didn't know the score this morning when I went to work.
Yeah, 19 something.
Nate asked me this morning what the score was. I don't know. I mean, I had a couple of pops, but it didn't matter. Like the game was such a dud. It didn't matter. And there was so much hoo-ha before, during, and after that it didn't even matter. It was, and I've said this, like it's.
But you know what that tells me? I also think that it means that their marketing works. And it works that
good on them. Like I'm good on them. I mean,
like
if I had $1 billion,
to segue to the halftime show, I'm going to say this, and I said this every year. Every time somebody is get off my lawn, old man bitching about why isn't there a country act or why isn't there a rock act as the halftime show, because it's explicitly obvious that they're trying to get an audience that isn't already watching the football game. They are not catering to football fans. They are catering to everybody else under the sun. Well, I know I'm beating you to the topic, because yes, that's why it's Kendrick Lamar and Katy Perry and Bad Bunny and Usher and like the West Coast rap, like the Dr. Dre, which was one of the best ones ever. They're trying to appeal to an audience that isn't already tuned in to watch a football game. Like, I don't understand how dense you have to be to understand that, and then bitch every year that the crowd, that the genre of music that you like as a football fan isn't what you're getting. Green Day is a punk band from the 90s who's anti-establishment, who did the opening. There was Brandy Carlisle is an LGBTQ advocate. Bad Bunny is a Spanish-speaking Puerto Rican performer. Like, do you think that any of the people that they got as musical performance had anything to do with football? Of course not. And anybody who thinks that they're so woke and out of touch and they don't know what they're doing. No, every year for the last 4 years, the halftime show has been increasing in viewership. It's working exactly like it's supposed to be.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They
100% know what they're doing.
Like, you think of the juice that they got over and
it works on me. I love the Turning Point
USA thing and the Kid Rock halftime show, and there was people with fake outrage and blah blah blah, all the stuff. The NFL did exactly what they knew what they were doing.
Yes.
And having Bad Bunny, we were watching it,
and it just builds hype.
Like
if no one had made us think about it, no one would have even cared.
It was a very well-produced show. It was very good. They had a couple getting married. They brought out Ricky Martin. They had Lady Gaga. They had all the things, but it's not my bag of tea.
And that's 100% fair.
It's not a thing. I'm not
there's
mad about it.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm
But
not.
I don't
mad about
understand
it.
how
I didn't
people
turn
are
it off. I
offended.
didn't stamp my feet and cross my arms and say, I wish it was somebody else. Whatever.
If I have never, ever, ever heard of Bad Bunny, who I have, I don't put like it's really great dance, like wicked dance music. Like I don't know how a person can sit still with that kind of like techno salsa.
Well, we were sitting beside each other, and you saw how I could do it. So
but I'm like,
and I got rhythm.
Like shoulder, like
I got more rhythm than you do.
But I'd never heard any of those songs before. And the only thing I got out of it, if I had been living in a bubble for the last year and had no idea what was going on, and I just watched that, I would have been like, it was joyful and happy and upbeat and well put together and like what a great time. I wish I could be at that party. That's how that halftime show made me feel. Yeah. I don't give two hoots about whether or not I understood it. I saw something hilarious on the internet this morning that was talking about like all the songs we've sang and danced to over the last 50 years where people are making up gibberish songs that no one. Informer. There's like there's Selena songs that people would dance to. There was Ricky Martin songs and Enrique Iglesias songs that were filled with Spanish, Shakira songs. Like people were singing along to this for the last 30 years and didn't even know what they were singing. Now everyone's all bent out of shape that it's in Spanish. Okay.
Yeah, like it just, I mean,
what does the Macarena mean? The whole world was dancing to the Macarena. What was that about? Do you know what he was saying? I don't know the words Macarena. Do any of us don't know what he was saying?
That was rather big in 1992, I think it was. And
if you don't speak Spanish, you don't know what he's saying.
So this fake outrage over Bad Bunny and whatever it may have been, it's just got, well, we know why, but we'll suck into that.
It's clickbait, it's rage bait. I'm sure half the people who stoke the fire don't even believe what they're saying either.
It's has the NFL, if you're a fan, or actually, no, let's go the other way. If you're a quasi fan like myself, where you watch, because it's Sunday afternoon in December, November, it's a little bit cold outside, and the nothing else on, you get the baseball blues and everything else. Has the NFL gotten to a point where it's blatantly obvious to me that they don't care about the product? It's so heavily produced and it's so heavily marketed. Have they gotten to the point where they don't even care about the Brents of the world and Deanne's of the world watching it? Because
yes, like
they've got people pretty much.
If I'm wrong, but haven't they changed a few rules here and there over the last few years? Like small things here and there. Like people have had to die or murder someone and have severe mental problems before they gave any shits about concussion protocol. These people are a dime a dozen that play for these. I didn't even know until yesterday. You told me these rosters are like 80 people. I had no idea because somebody gets hurt, in goes another one. It's just like whack-a-mole of these people that you're letting them beat up their bodies and their brains. And then, we'll just find someone else to do it. Like it's a marketing machine.
Is it too big?
Just like as a human being, like, yes, it's 100% too big. If I were a CEO, I would say no.
I think it's so big that it's gotten to the point you don't care. It's just another.
It's almost whatever. It's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like contrarian to be like, I don't watch football. It's like, if you're like, I don't have cable. Like, it's almost then just don't. Like, of course, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not watching the Super Bowl because, like, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. But, yeah, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl because it's a fun thing to do and it's a thing to gather around. But, like, the Super Bowl hasn't made any money off me. They make money off, like, selling my eyes and ears. The advertisers know how many people watch, and that's how they decide how much they charge for their commercials. And at the end of the day, that's really all it is. Like, I'm not paying for anything extra on purpose. Like, if it was a pay-per-view, nope.
Not a chance.
Exactly.
Like, I'd pay to watch the World Series, pending who was playing.
Depends who was in it.
No, I'd pay to watch it. I'd pay $10 a game.
Yeah, not like 50.
No, I'd pay $10 a game of stream like the fucking Leopard Bulls on Flow Sports. I'd pay.
I would
pay to,
pay
I'd
if it
pay
was
to
like
watch
a team like that someone I know cared about.
And pending, I don't know if I would pay to watch the Stanley Cup Finals, depending on who is playing in it. If it's two teams that I don't give a shit about in June, I'm not paying to watch that.
But then when it comes to hockey, though, I think we also care a lot about the actual players sometimes more than we necessarily care about the team they're playing for. Like, I'm not an Oilers fan, but I would want to see McDavid win a Stanley Cup.
Well, that's depending who was playing.
That's what I mean.
I would definitely. But if it was the Anaheim Ducks playing the New Jersey Devils in the middle,
but it depends on who plays on those teams.
I'm not paying to watch that. I'm not.
I'm saying it depends on who is playing for those teams. Like if there's some
I'd pay a cover charge to go to a lounge and watch it, but I'm not paying to watch it in my own house. I
would care, like, say if the Bears were in the Super Bowl, because my brother's a big fan, so it means something to him. And vis-a-vis, I care because he cares. Does that make sense? So, like the Yankees, friend, like you, like if I'd never met you, I wouldn't care about the Yankees, but I do because a person
everybody should care about the Yankees.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So like there's context to the reasoning behind everything, but as a general rule, no. Super Bowl's not getting crap out of me.
No, I get back.
And they're not really marketing to Canadians anyway, I don't think.
I think it's marketed to whoever will watch. Like I don't think
bet on it.
Like throw it out there, and they figured it out that it's a major multi-billion-dollar industry year in, year out. And I do think that there's a bit of I find this a lot. There's a bit of, not lack of a better term, disdain, that it's kind of a product in general. Like it's all right, and it's I think it's too much.
And that's why they need so many bells and whistles and graphics and this and cut-ins and commentators and analysis and this, because the game is boring.
That's my problem.
Because we live in this like now world. People who watch baseball understand it's slow and methodical, and then you have your moments. Football like has to constantly be going. Now I'm sure there's some classic, like not old school, but like purist football people who have been watching the same teams for 60 years, and they like the nuances of the games and that sort of thing. But those people probably hate the way football is now.
I find it definitely boring, and I'm a baseball guy, and I've told people before.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the distractions that they've created for football nowadays, if you're actually a football fan that goes back a long time, you probably hate what they've done to it.
Things are different. And it's just too much, and it's too, I don't know. It's just,
anyway, that's my piece.
No, I want to get back to the halftime show a little bit and your thoughts of it. You kind of alluded to the dancing and the good and the da. If you could have, if Deanne Michalopoulos was given the golden key to have a halftime show that's going to bring in people from all parts of the world and all races and colors and whatever it might be, what would you do? Because we were watching Overdrive again. You know, they say we want AC/DC, you want Metallica, the Rolling Stones, where it might be, and I don't know if I agree with that as much as and there's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere between Bad Bunny, which is one of the biggest stars in the world right now. So there's got to be a happy medium. There's Bernie the Wonder Mutt just sitting there visiting the 1420 Sports Bar down here.
Yeah, he hasn't been up here once yet.
Oh, he's roaming around down here. He's going to unplug something right away, I'm sure. But what would be the happy medium, do you think, for a halftime show to make, not because you're never going to make everybody happy, obviously, but what would be the ultimate halftime show for you that would put it all together and wrap it up on a little bow?
I think that musicians really like collaborating, and people like surprises. And obviously you can't please all of the people all of the time.
Half of them watch my show, but whatever. Yeah.
But I think a lot of the best halftime shows are one where like a surprise guest has shown up and you don't expect the two of them to be together. Like, I think it would be pretty like, and I'm pulling two big names out just for the juxtaposition. Like, if Guns N' Roses and Taylor Swift did the halftime show, like the whole set. Do you know what I'm saying? Like something that like blows someone's head off. Like, what is this? Like, I think things like that more like every year, like who are they going to put together? Two totally different genres. Be like Snoop Dogg and Andrea Bocelli. Like, pick, I mean, I'm just spitballing, but I think something that would bring worlds together, I think, and it's all like music that people know, whether it's current or old, or maybe that's always the mixture that you put together. Like, I don't know.
Well, yesterday was low-hanging fruit. I mean, if I was the producer of that show, Metallica's from San Francisco. Throw Metallica, and I'm not saying get rid of Bad Bunny, but have Metallica playing somehow, some way.
Like, how neat would that have been?
James Hetfield having a guitar riff for 30 seconds with Lady Gaga up there. I mean,
like, that would have been really cool.
It's a different sound, obviously, than what Bad Bunny.
Yeah, but you can rehearse and songs can
well,
get
there's always
up.
a way. I mean, they had a freaking wedding in the thing. Like, you'll find a way, right? Like, I think that's something that's got to be looked at a little bit more, is just how you could intertwine things.
And I think something like that would actually get people to watch even more, because like, okay, they announced that so and so's the performer, but no one knows who the other one is, or whatever. Like, there was the Bruno Mars year, and then there was a year that he joined someone, but I don't remember who it was.
I think he was up there with Bouncy and somebody else the year. He was like a year after. He
yeah, it was right after.
Or do you think, now this is conspiracy theory shit, and that's why we, podcasts are, or do you think that they didn't do that because of all the crap going on in the background? We're going to have a Bad Bunny show to piss everybody off and piss off one side of the world to gain more viewers, and because there's a disdain for one side of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a lesson in unity?
They don't care. No.
Here's what I'm saying. Like, say it's Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's a halftime show. Everybody, like, everyone's all bent out of shape, and no one says anything, but AC/DC joins them on stage. All those people watching the whatever
Turning Point USA
halftime show would be ticked that they weren't watching the main one because they missed like a wicked event.
Or do they do it just because you're going to grab more people who have a disdain for that side? Like, everything has a motive.
It kind of puts their feet to the fire a little bit too. Like, okay, we gave you exactly what you wanted and you're still mad. So what's that say?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so bizarre, and the whole thing was a bit nuts, and I'm glad nothing bad happened. Like I told you yesterday afternoon, there, Elaine had a bad. My sister Elaine had a bad. Thought,
and she's right. Like, anything could have happened. But the level of security that building probably had yesterday, I can't imagine
for a football game.
Yeah,
that's completely messed up. Hey, like, how the security that has to be had for a football game, that you can't be trusted to go watch a football game.
And it's not just the performers, it's the players, it's the people in attendance. Like, some of the people that are in the crowd are some of the richest.
There's a lot more zeros on a lot of those people watching the game than the guys playing the game, right?
Like, those suites are lined with security.
It's absolutely insane. Well, Elaine here to tune in maybe in the future, but this year turned out something else. It wasn't to piss people off. It became something more than 13 minutes of entertainment. Taylor Swift would make them epileptic. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Like, I think that Taylor Swift.
When they announced Bad Bunny, everyone's like, great. He's one of the biggest artists on the planet. He's American. And it's a perfectly reasonable choice for a halftime show. It's a current artist that is very popular, and it's a contrast to the NFL existing fans. The things that have happened since then are I mean, like I said, maybe it was rage bait on purpose. Maybe it was all of these things to drum up. There's no such thing as bad press, right? The more people are buzzing about it, the more people are going to tune in. People hate watch things. People watch things that they know they're not going to like just so they can say they watched it.
Well, we had on one of the TVs down here in the tavern last night. We had this thing queued up to watch it there.
Oh yeah, but we couldn't even get through it.
And I was good. I didn't get to the Kid Rock lip sync fest that apparently he had, from what I read on Twitter and all over the internet today.
Yeah, and the mental gymnastics people say to like justify some of the lyrics that come out of his mouth. Like, you know what? If you're not going to sit on a pedestal and act all holier than thou, no one would have criticized for some of the lyrical stuff that you said over the years. There's plenty of controversial, not off color, not okay lyrics that have existed from many artists, but to sit there and get on a soapbox and act like you're the moral compass of America when you're singing about underage girls and shooting people up, and like, I mean, the guy's, he's no example, and how he's become like the marquee artist for that side of the opinion is beyond me.
I was whenever I see Kid Rock, which we see it way too much of him. I don't know why he's still around, but I think of Pam Anderson and
I forgot.
and how she's turned her life around, and
She's really come a long way. I like her
come a
so
long
much.
way, and she lives out in Vancouver Island, and
But
very
she always seemed like she was a nice person that was just like trying to do whatever she needed to do to be like
caught up in all this stuff,
edgy or popular.
I think of her now, and she's with Liam Neeson, I think, right?
I think they split up. It didn't last.
No,
amicably, but
I think of her and how she's trying to clean her life up, and she lives out in
she has cleaned her life up.
So that town just north of or south of where Elaine lives there on the island, Ladysmith, I think.
Yes.
And
she like does jams and like preserves.
Yeah,
and
she gardens and stuff. She doesn't really make up anymore or whatever. And I think of her, and if she looks back and goes, I was married to that guy. Like, oops. Like, yeah, like everybody has a few things in their life that they may regret, but they aren't documented quite like that was, and how she's went to the complete other side of things. And I'm not hacking on Kid Rock. He's made $1 billion, whatever. Like,
you can hack on Kid Rock.
You do you, man. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you're doing, Kid Rock. Like, it doesn't faze me at all. I think you're an idiot. I've always thought you're an idiot, whatever. But I've always wondered, like, I wonder what if Pammy was sitting there yesterday going, or today, and going, oh, what was I doing? Like,
I mean, some girls have a type, and you try to see the best in somebody or whatever. Like, I think she still talks very highly of Tommy Lee.
Well, he's a good guy. He was in Motley Crue. There's a big difference between Motley Crue and Kid Rock. Like,
Tommy Lee's great.
They're a lot the same, but
Tommy
a lot
Lee's
different. A lot. I don't know. Maybe that's a different story for another day, but
that is a different story for another day.
Anyways, lately, Deanne, we've been watching the Colbert questions on YouTube there, and they're very entertaining. And so I'm going to put a little bit of a twist on some of them, but use kind of what he's been using, Stephen Colbert. For those of you,
I didn't see this coming.
Well, no, it's a surprise here in the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. So what it is, I'll give you 3 questions like we used to at Spit Stadium, 3 easy questions were brought by one of our sponsors. 3 easy questions, you can't get them wrong. It's just your opinion. And I just want to hear what you have to think, and it's to get I think I might know the answers, but you might surprise me as well.
You'd be like the newlywed game. You'd be like, see what you said and see what I said. You should write it down on a piece of paper and then hold it up to the screen.
I don't know how well we would do on that. Probably break up halfway in between, but that's kind of just the way. But anyways, 3 easy questions. Are you ready to go?
I am ready.
You had to listen. This is a Colbert one. You have to listen to one song for the rest of your life. You don't have to listen all the time, but whenever you press play on your CD player or on your app or whatever it might be, what song is that going to be?
Yeah, I know dead air is not good for a podcast. I'm not choosing my favorite song because I actually can get sick of it. It's just my favorite. I'm gonna say it's not even one of my top 5 songs. It's the songs that I could hear the most often. I think my answer is As Long as You Love Me.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I think that's right. That's a good answer. I'll give you a check mark on that one.
It's not my favorite song at all time. It's probably in my top 5 of all time. But if I only could hear one song, and like the question on his show does, I don't have to listen to it on repeat. But when I hear music, this is the only song I can listen to.
I don't mind that song. Like as a 51-year-old male,
And I would like to just put a little asterisk on that. I want to hear the single version, not the album version. The single version
the Backstreet Boys somehow, some way, they stole a dance move from me
smoother.
For that
the
video.
album version is a little bit rougher and it's a little choppier on the track.
I would like to know how the Backstreet Boys saw me dancing to a certain song about 1993 or 94 at the Midnight Lounge in Fort McLeod, and they stole my move for that.
The shuffle stutter step.
Yes, I do it way better than Brian and the rest of them do. But anyways, that's just my
okay. You should go join them.
You heard my voice. It's not very good. I can't.
You can dance.
I can't sing and dance at the same time.
Fair.
You were supposed to. Yes, honey, you can. You're very good at it.
No, because then if I say nice things, then you're not going to believe me if I tell you all the nice things. There has to be contrast.
I know this answer, but I want the world to hear it. One concert that you missed out on going to on a person that has passed away. What concert would that be?
David Bowie. And I actually think I've told this story on the show before, so I'm not going to go into it. But I didn't go. I had tickets. The person I was going with didn't go with me. They couldn't at the last minute. And I was 19 years old and too afraid to go to a show by myself. And I scalped them and didn't go. And the man never toured again. And I've never forgiven myself. But the lesson there I learned is that doesn't matter. If you want to do something, you do it. And you can't change your mind based on what somebody else does. Or because you don't want to go alone.
And last question. This one's going to be a shot for somebody. One thing that you hope you never have to eat in your life that someone that you love cooks.
Okay, repeat the question, please.
Something that you hope you never have to eat ever again in your life that someone you love cooks.
I feel like I'm supposed to say a certain thing here.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I've never asked this question before. Something
I'm like, is this an inside joke that I'm
Elaine cooks? Bernie's gonna make one night when he's up there cooking by himself.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
You hope that you never you're like you're
like
you're
when
going
somebody
to,
when someone
what you're going to do is you're eventually going to say, you know what? I have never liked this. You can hurt my feelings right now. I don't care. What I've never liked this. Please never make this again. I'm not eating this ever again. But you've always eaten it because such and such a person liked.
Or someone you love made it, or whatever. I got two things in my head right now, and I'm not saying either one. I'm not saying.
Well, that's kind of bullshit.
No, I'm not. There is nothing that I wouldn't consume over and over again that someone I love made for me. That's my answer.
Huh. Now I'm inquisitive. Good thing I don't cook that much.
And one is from one person, one's from another. So they're not the same person.
Can you give me a hint?
Nope.
Are you gonna tell me off air?
Yes, but no.
Did I cook it?
One of the things is you.
Then tell me.
No.
I don't care.
Nope.
I'll tell you one thing. I never want you to cook for me again.
My salty steak?
Really, really salty steak.
Yeah, but that's a mistake. That's not on purpose.
Once is a mistake, twice is on purpose.
They were like 6 years apart.
And
how do you not remember like the really good meals?
I do. I mention all the time how good things are.
But you don't go harken back and tell stories about this amazing meal I made. But
yes,
you do bring up
you don't
the
listen to
bad
the show
ones.
very often.
Pardon?
You don't listen to my show very often. You don't know.
I'm sure I could like make a comment under one of your posts and all your fans will tell me.
All my fan. All my fan here in the 1420 Sports Bar podcast.
Okay,
Sports
I
podcast.
return the question.
I just told you, really salty steak.
No, but on purpose that I make that you would like, or you're going to keep eating it no matter what. You didn't eat the damn steak.
The first one, I ate most of it.
Yeah, but we were at the beginning of our relationship back then.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
ate most of it. I just
think
couldn't
you were
anymore.
just trying to be nice that day, and you were going to scarf it down. The
Yeah.
second time was like last year sometime, and you're like,
No,
I can't eat.
it's only about 5 months ago, if that. Yeah,
Well, do you know the exact date and time?
it was a Tuesday. No, I don't know.
But you were like 2 bites in, went, I can't eat this.
I couldn't eat it.
Like I can't eat this.
I couldn't. I tried.
I
And
know.
at first I thought it was just something wrong with something. I didn't know what it was. And then so I took the second bite and I was like, what the heck is going on here? And I couldn't. Like I just couldn't. It was just a mistake. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It's just I just couldn't.
What's your favorite meal I've ever made?
Oh, there was
Don't
that
say
one.
tonight because it's the latest one.
No. There was that one you made a few years ago. Noodle dish. It was real good. I can't remember, but it was really good. And then you said
That's
I
such a
wrote
random and obscure answer.
No, and then you wrote it down because it was made from your heart, but you wrote it down.
Is it the one that I tried to make Edo Japan at home?
No,
It wasn't like an Asian flavors?
no,
Oh, okay. What number am I thinking of?
43.
Nope.
Anyways, all right. Well, Deanne, this was fun, informative. I'm sure we solved a lot of problems, made some more for ourselves later on tonight. Once we I hit up on this, we'll probably argue a little bit in about 10 minutes. And
I'm never telling you.
how's your dog doing
He was laying at the top of the stairwell and now he's not.
in general?
I love him so much.
Yeah.
I wish he would go for walks. I wish he was more chill out of the home. He's chill in the home. He's fantastic within the walls of our home.
Yeah.
As soon as he's interacting with anyone other than you and me, he's just a spaz. He's not aggressive. He's a spaz.
Yeah, he saw those kids playing baseball at the park across from our house here, and if we would have let him off the leash, probably would have bit all their heads off. But whatever.
He wouldn't have bitten them though. He would have run up to them, barking like a crazy animal.
Kids
and
would
then
have all smelled like.
and then
Then the kids would
stop.
have all smelled like poo, and then we'd have to pay for diapers and.
The thing is that because no one's ever going to let him get that far because all he does is run up to someone, stop, and then bark, and that's it. He doesn't bite. He doesn't paw up on anybody. He just sounds aggressive. But you can't get within 10 feet of anybody when someone does that.
What did I make you didn't like?
I'm not telling you.
I only made like 4 things.
No, you cook lots.
No, but I make the same 4 things.
Like 8 things.
Okay, well, I'll break it down. I'll figure it out.
You aren't going to figure out what I'm saying.
That's what I'm sleeping on the
You
couch
aren't.
tonight, making, we got in a fight, but whatever.
We're
Anyway,
not going to get in a fight.
anything else? Got anything else?
Now, what number am I thinking of?
43.
Still don't.
No,
I was still thinking of the same number.
I don't believe you.
I could have written it down. It was the same number both times.
Don't write it down. I'll figure it out next week. Anyways,
No,
there it
you
is.
won't.
2 weeks from now. Give me 2 weeks to think about it.
Okay.
Okay, anyways. There it is. The Voice of Reason podcast, part of the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 beer sports, talking a whole lot more. Got anything else?
Nope.
That's it.
That's it.
Actually, we got to come. We'll talk about it later. Say goodnight, Deanne.
Good night, Deanne.
There we go. There it is. The 1420. You nailed it. Good. I think girl. I'm proud of you. Here it is. The 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 beer sports, talking a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More important, take care of yourselves and year round. Keep your stick on the ice and don't swing at high pitches. And remember, it doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you again very soon. Good night, Deanne.
Thanks for tuning into the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 beer sports, talking a whole lot more. Brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.